Hello, people. Welcome to the episode 4 of the Sunday Podcast. As you may know, this podcast is about music and topics and whatever things we want to tackle in life. Uh, the guest today we have Terry. Got some returning guests here. Terry Borderline.
Peace.
Yeah. And we got Shane Blondie Sutton.
Hola.
Exceptional drummer here.
Where?
Yeah. Um, Before we get started on the song of the day for my upcoming EP, uh, let's go over what we're doing today because people might be missing out on the spicy details of our schedules and all that.
Right.
So what did you do today, Shane?
Oh man, I played at church, then grabbed some food, and then just been kind of like shedding all day, before I head to the studio and start to do some more music. But yeah, it's been a pretty mapped out day.
Yeah.
How about yourself, bro?
Yeah. So I've been working my second job, so to speak. I help my dad on the weekend, so
Nice.
he's like a handyman, so I was just moving like those packs of fucking tile that people be them shits are heavy once you have to go through them. I had to bring
Heavy as hell.
Yeah, I had to bring some from the garage to like the attic, just like
Yeah, got you.
it's a good workout.
Yeah,
Much needed workout.
Get the calluses on your hands.
Yeah. What you been doing to Terry today?
I've been great, man. Today, my mother-in-law, she came over, helped watch, our son for me and my wife. So we had our hands free for like the first time in a while, So I went all around the house. I was cleaning shit. I was organizing shit. I made a nice ass good smoothie. Yeah.
Victory lap.
Oh yeah. Yo, when you got that short amount of time, it's like bam, bam, bam. I gotta get everything done, Yeah. And then I hopped onto the computer and I started making a fresh ass beat that I was supposed to wait until like Thursday to do it with my student / collaborator Clearwater. But you know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, I'm so excited to flip this sample. I'm gonna just do it today.
I feel that. He said, I'm gonna jump that gun.
And then, it ended up being time to hop on here, and here I am.
Facts. That's what's up.
Uh-oh, I think we lost Soul for a bit. Oh, there you go. He's back.
All right.
It might be just me. I switched to my hotspot on my phone.
Oh, true.
Okay.
Just to make sure. So you did a smoothie and then what?
I was saying, and then I ended up producing an ill record because I've been wanting to do this sample since I first heard it, and I was planning on doing it on Thursday when I meet with my student / collaborator Clearwater, but I couldn't help it. Today I just had to dive right in. So I chopped that shit up. I found some great roads to go with it, programmed the whole beat, the all the drums and whatnot. Yeah, man, I still got more ideas. I'm planning on adding a flute and some chimes in there. Man, it's gonna be crazy.
That's gonna be dope.
That's what's up. Now, so today this the song I'm gonna go over is the 4th song in the EP, the Apartheid Plus EP. This one is more centered towards truth, not like macro level, but just like the process in which we exchange ideas and stuff to come down to a certain accord or understanding between people. And I got one more person. Oh, we got Joshua. Yeah.
Peace.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
So, man. Nah.
Santificado sea tu nombre, muchacho.
Amen. What you been up to, Joshua? Oh yeah, this is Joshua. People. I don't know if you guys met before. Well, I know you met Shane,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
Joshua is what's it called? School committee? I'm not sure. You had like a lot of titles, bro.
Yeah, on my days off, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah,
So
yeah,
more or
yo.
less, yeah, he's part of like the legal or government. He's
Oh,
part
you
of
support
something.
the system? Oh shit!
Oh my god!
You the feds, Josh?
I
You
got
being
to
a
change my
liar?
fucking life right now. That's an indictment.
What you been up to today, Joshua?
Nah, jodiendo. Nah, yo, yesterday, I gotta tell you this. Yesterday, I'm just like cleaning around, fucking around the house or whatever, but yesterday we protested at some dude's house, some millionaire's house,
Oh yeah, yeah.
off
Oh shit.
like 2 dozen of his employees, even though he got like his company's worth like 5 mil at least. The dude applied for all those PPP loans, the coronavirus loans, got 1.2 million, never gave any of that money to those employees.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah. So they're asked out, they're fucking heated, they're all like immigrant women. And so we pulled up to his house and let everybody in the neighborhood know what kind of guy he is.
Oh
So
shit.
Yeah, man, that's fucked up because it's like he wouldn't get that PPP loan if he didn't have those employees. So it's
Right.
like, dude, pay your employees. Like,
right. And those loans are meant for like smaller shops, smaller
Right.
mom and pop shops. And we got places like this, like Walmart, Home Depot, taking up all that money. And it's just like, yo, man, you got the money to pay your freaking employees in the first place.
yep.
So
You got mega churches getting that PPP. You got millionaires. I heard Kanye West got the PPP. I don't know how true that is. Yeah, bro. I'm like, what?
yeah, it doesn't make any sense, man. This country's fucked. This country is in decline right now, man. Hard.
Yeah, I almost feel like a lot of that, money that they gave, the stimulus, the PPP, the PUA, all that stuff. I feel like they try to troll us with it. Like there's a lot of conflict that's been created just about this money. Like I know a lot of people who be happy, but there's so many people who be pissed. You know what I'm saying?
That's facts.
What'd you say, Lonso?
I said it's almost like a fog of war, huh? We're in the middle.
Facts.
Yeah, people we're talking about all this stuff, and it's just like this last like stimulus thing that Biden and Congress did was like really good or whatever. It's not what we fucking needed, but it was better than anything this country has done for the last 50 years or whatever. Right? But what the hell is it? People are like the Democrats and the Republicans alike are saying that all of us, fucking Lawrence doesn't need monthly checks. They were just like, maybe I'll give y'all 1,400, even though he said 2,000 on the campaign trail.
Wow.
But it's just like there's no recognition. They have no idea, or they don't give a fuck about how people are living on the ground.
Yeah.
And it's yeah. I feel like it's time to just really up the ante and did what activists and folks did in the 70s, the 60s, and shut shit down. To be quite honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. About that time. It's about that time to see America burn. Take our money and our finances out of this economic social status. That's how we have to win. That's how we can win, to be honest, because they need the black and brown dollar as much as they think they don't. They do. Because what are we worth? Bro, we're worth everything. We're worth popularity. We're worth culture. We're worth our own. We're worth a lot of stuff. Like, they can do all of the, corporate and all of that stuff, but we could do that too. We could provide that with entertainment. See, there's a difference.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and it's like at the end of the day, if you're gonna attempt to so-called, like give us stimuluses or give us reparations or whatever they want to call it, it's like don't half-ass it, or else it's not a stimulus. Don't half-ass it, or else it ain't reparations. Don't half-ass it. And it's like they gave us all these grand promises, but then they half-assed all of them, if not quarter-assed, if that's a word. Shit, like they barely fulfilled any of the promises that they gave, especially during the campaign trail.
yeah.
Yeah, they're guaranteeing another Trump or worse, somebody that is just the same value as Trump, but more competent in how he executes his racism and misogyny and all that.
That's cold.
Yeah, man. But you know what? You know what's even worse than all? It's like we're sitting up here, we're expecting all of these political officials to try and, write these legislative documents and pass these bills to try and, make everything on the level playing field. And here you got a whole governor behind closed doors in Atlanta, Georgia, sitting up here passing a document that's gonna restrict voters of 4%.
Facts.
Like, it's like, dude,
Yeah, I mean, we really can't depend on them at this point, and I see it kind of like how Josh was talking about. It's time to go into the people's hands. It's just like the 70s and 80s, and during the 70s and 80s, we had the Black Panther, right? The Black Panther movement, right? And with the Black Panther movement, they took food programs into their own hands. They took medical and healthcare into their own hands. You know what I'm saying? They took the militia into their own hands, right? Law enforcement into their own hands, and that's what they were afraid of. That's what they were afraid of. That's why they assassinated Fred Hampton. That's why they assassinated Huey Newton, right? Like they don't want it to happen again, but it's inevitable.
They even assassinated Martin Luther King, who was nice about it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I was hearing some stuff
Martin
about
was nice. They say Martin was nice. You know what the thing was? Martin wasn't really trying to be nice about this. What he was trying to do was he was trying to be he was trying to level the playing field. He was trying to look at it from both perspectives, the white perspective and the black perspective. He figured that if white people advocated for us as much as they do about, we love the black culture, we love black music, we love black food, we love going to black churches and getting that natural black spirituality and that understanding of, culture and perspective, it would be great to be involved and invested with them and then live amongst the society with them. But wait, we got to remember, they're still second-class citizens. They're still 3/5 of a human being. So we can't advocate all of their rights because they might start to think for themselves. And if they realize that they really don't need us, we're up shit's creek. And this is the thing, it wasn't necessarily that I was bothered by those 5 government officials who were sitting there behind closed doors passing those documents. I was more bothered by, and this was the thing, the white woman who taped the video of the black woman getting, the black legislative official getting arrested for knocking on that door. When she was taping that video and she went on that interview, now she got to go to the interview. She made it to the interview, y'all. But the sister who got arrested, lo and behold, she still got to find her bond money, her bail money, or she still got to advocate that I'm innocent, even though you all are literally disobeying the law and going against, like common stature. But that's all right, fine. So this white woman goes on and she says the very crocodile-teared sob story that every single white person plays whenever something catastrophic happens to the black person. Well, as I was recording on my cell phone, and I seen the woman knocking on the door. And as soon as I seen the police state troopers come in and they kind of started to handle her in a certain way, I knew in my mind that if that were me, that would have never happened to me. So why didn't you step the fuck in? Why the fuck you wasn't the one knocking on the door? And you have the sister go ahead and record your ass knocking on the door. Because I guarantee you, if she was knocking, that white woman's knocking on the door, the police officers, them state officials, they're not going to
totally
put their
different.
hands on no white woman. They're not going to put no hands on no white woman. Why is that? Because that is the white man's woman, and you better not know. But it's easy. It's easy because we're not a part of that culture. We're not a part of that lifestyle. They think that they try and make us believe that we are, so that way that we can be what they call like sheep or cattle led to the slaughter. And that's what this is all about. You got black folks sitting up here in Atlanta, Georgia. They talking about they passing laws saying, yo, you stand in line trying to vote. If somebody gives you a bottle of water, that's illegal. What? What?
Yeah, they're trying to say that's like trying to buy their vote or some shit.
Yeah, bro.
They'll put it under that fucking.
Mind you, it's only getting hotter and hotter every year.
Right.
They're trolling with a law like that. They're trolling with a law like that. Water is becoming more and more scarce. Like, stop
yes,
it.
it is. Yes, it is.
Like, stop it.
So this,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so this kind of like plays into this song because in this one I'm playing two saxes, like two different saxophone tracks there, and like it's always it's like two different themes running at the same time. So that's how it feels to be living in this country. You see only two different aspects all the time. It's never like when it's united at once. I'm gonna put the teaser up right now. Like I said, I'll put the prompt and stuff to enable the audio, but it'll be fine. I'll put the full one later on. But
you're asking me to take the will for the deed. I don't know what most white people in this country feel. I can only include what they feel from the state of their institution. You want me to make an act of faith, risking myself, my wife, my woman, my sister, my children, on some idealism which you assure me exists in America, which I have never seen.
That's dope.
it's short, but I'll show you the full song in like 10 minutes or something. But
yeah, one of those saxes literally sounds like a piano. Like it's like chords, bro.
Yeah, I put like what's it called? A vocoder, so it makes it sound like there's multiple like saxes on each one, but one's geared towards the low end and the other one's geared to the high end, so it's kind of different. Oh, I got a comment here.
Hard.
Ooh, what is this? Ooh, got someone from Brazil. I don't know how long ago.
Ciao.
Hey. Obrigado. Was that thank you? Brazilian? I try. I already know like some Italian words here.
I was about to say somebody had to mistake you for Brazilian at least once or twice.
Yeah, I think I was mistaken for like every other like thing except Dominican. They thought I was Haitian.
Until they hear you Spanish. When they hear you Spanish, then they know.
Nah, my Spanish teacher thought I wasn't even Spanish. Like, yeah, I think it's because I had that face, just like without the hair. I didn't have this hair back then, so like it wasn't as pronounced.
Because I would say Dominicans speak a specific Spanish. Ain't nobody speak Spanish like Dominicans do. That's facts.
Yeah, it's really interesting. One, I just want to say I have like some homies. Well, I thought she was Brazilian in Worcester, and every time I hear them speak Brazilian, it's like the fucking beautifulest thing, man.
Oh yeah.
Some shit. I'm just like say something again, please. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But no, the Dominican thing. Yo, have you guys ever heard of about the linguistics of Caribbean people, Caribbean languages, period. But Dominicans speak differently from the city
Or
to
Portuguese.
the country to the north and the south. And Puerto Ricans, there's Puerto Ricans that do that they pronounce their R como like a rolling R, and then there's other ones that pronounce it like they're gonna fucking spit
Oh yeah.
something.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's very similar to like how Haitians, when Haitians like speak French, is completely different than regular French. And then when we hear Canadian French, that sounds like Arabic. Like it sounds so different. Oh, I love samba. Yo, I love samba. Samba and bossa nova. Yo, some of my favorite music. The facts.
Yes. No, yeah, and then this whole thing about the history of colonization, right? The legacy of colonization in our countries, is literally like embedded everywhere.
Yeah.
By especially our language, and in Lawrence right now, there's a lot of people from Tenares, which I believe is like a country kind of a place, right? And there's really slack jaw, really not proper like the city, which I think some of the parents would say is more educated or whatever, more urbanized, and more like the slack jaw stuff. When they say their R's like L's, it's more del monte, del campo, chilling in the shack on the mountain, washing your back with a bucket and shit. And you haven't done it, do it. But I don't know. I just want to rant.
Yeah, and it's funny because what ties all these different islands together, besides colonization, is the fact that you had the Arawaks out there, you had the Tainos out there, you had the Boricuans out there, you had all these different indigenous peoples who spoke a specific tongue and interacted with each other in both the Greater and Lesser Antilles, right? And so you'll find the grammar structure of a lot of these languages are similar, whether you're in Dominican Republic speaking Spanish, or you're in Haiti speaking Creole, or you're in Puerto Rico speaking Spanish, etc. We'll have those things that are different from Europe, because we all share that common indigenous island grammatical and prepositional formation, It's pretty dope.
All right, so what was it? Oh, the song. This song was I don't know, it's kind of like this one's more like universal, like it could be put under different situations, like I put in on Instagram, that whether it's a macro level between societies, like different social groups and stuff, how they interact, or down to just people interacting with each other on let's say fucking pizza with pineapple is trash or something, and they'll disagree with that. And sometimes I've made this song because there's always this struggle with understanding that we have to fight for our position. It's not bendable. We're not able to adjust. If we agree with something, that means we're weaker than, and there's always a constant struggle. So in the song, you hear the saxophones, they're kind of they're aggressive, they're fighting with each other. There's always a call and response, with right off the bat. There's no contemplation, I guess, in between. So that's kind of how I've been seeing things after I put it after Fog of War, because that Fog of War is the battlefield, and Truth is more so the one-on-one.
Yeah, I feel that it's kind of like a duel.
Yeah, and that's how some arguments become. They become duels instead of people will come in with treaties in hand, but once one little all it takes is one little attitude or perceived snarky comment, and it becomes a battle after that.
Becomes an unintellectual cock measuring fest.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'd be like, cause it's all emotional. It's all like, ooh, and it's like, dog, where's your facts? You're not. You gotta take emotion and out of, and that's why, a lot of arguments, people start to rely on their with their knowledge. The Bible says, lean not to your own understanding. That's one of the biggest key things I love, is because, like, when we lean to our own understanding, especially when it comes to other people and other types of topics that you discuss, what ends up happening is we always resort to how much we know, and then when we are overshadowed or outproven, outspoken, we become threatened.
Yeah.
And that can be a big issue if somebody who's not secure in the confidentiality of their individualism. That's dangerous. And a lot of Americans, they're very passive, and they don't really want to take the time to research and do the legwork to kind of like keep themselves informed and aware. And so what ends up happening is, when you start challenging, their questionable, ways of doing things, oh, well, that's judging and that's considered toxic.
Yeah, you get that cognitive dissonance.
Yeah, all that extra bullshit. And it's just like, dog, no, it's just like, grow the fuck up.
Yeah, I really liked how you used James Baldwin for the teaser as well, because James Baldwin, he represented a time where people weren't even trying to be leaders, right? People were just doing shit. They were making action, and they were going on stage on live television, debating so-called white experts and beating them in these debates time and time again. The amount of confidence that they had in just speaking their truth. They spoke differently, they carried themselves differently, and they carried themselves high with confidence. Malcolm X was around doing this at the time. Nina Simone was going around doing this at the time. James Baldwin was going around doing this at the time. This was a time like it reminds me even of an interview with Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, where she's having a very similar type of debate with a eugenicist, right? Who like literally just believes like, yo, we got to exterminate these other races because we consider them inferior. Prove me wrong. And she literally went on TV and she proved him wrong, right? She went deep into genetics and was like, nah, bro, according to your science, it's the exact opposite, And that teaser kind of brought me to that. And I feel like your song kind of draws that energy where it's like you're taking a space or a moment to speak your truth. Fuck what everybody else says. Like,
and I picked James Baldwin partly because there was always a conversation between people. Like, it wasn't just him just throwing out statements. Like, he is actively trying to see what they're saying, and then either pick apart what's wrong, and trying to show like certain different aspect that they might not see. But that becomes very hostile at certain times. Ooh, we got my friend Putin, Wesley.
Hey,
Wesley.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah, how's it going, everyone?
Yeah. He Wesley has been testing out the space for me because I haven't had the chance to like set it up and all that, but he's been making good use of it.
Much appreciated, by the way. It's been helping out a lot.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited. Every time you guys put a video out, I'm like, this is actually working.
It's a great space.
Yeah, thank you.
So, what's going on? I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. Did you catch did you see the trailer I put or no? I'll put it again for you.
I was actually listening a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Before I decided to hop on.
How are you? What's up, bro?
Hey, yo, so it's about that time for you, brother.
All right, I'm gonna put the whole song in, and then
peace out, Shane.
All right,
Much
y'all.
love, brethren.
You too, family. Y'all be safe. Y'all be safe.
You too, man. All right, let me put the song on for you guys, the whole thing, that way you can see it. 3. Oh yeah, Wes is gonna give you a prompt for you to enable the audio once I click it. I don't know where it shows up, but I'll click it now.
You're asking me to take the will for the deed. I don't know what most white people in this country feel, but I can only include what they feel from the state of their institution. You want me to make an act of faith, risking myself, my wife, my woman, my sister, my children, on some idealism which you assure me exists in America, which I have never seen.
I didn't know you were about to play the song. You just played the whole song, son? Yo,
Yeah, I put the whole song.
That shit was hard.
Yeah, Shane. You know, he was going pretty crazy on that one. So it kind of like you know how it felt like really messy, but that's part of it because when people are in arguments, sometimes we don't hear each other. So that's that's what
chaotic,
happens,
right?
Yeah, it becomes chaotic.
Yeah, yo, them drums are disgusting. The sax is impeccable. The whole thing, man. Like you were hitting some high notes on there. I was like, shit.
It sounds like that. You know that. Oh, you go ahead.
See. No, I'll go.
I was gonna say it sounds like one of those kind of like a movie where it kind of like a scene to like you're traveling or something, or you're going on a journey or something. Yeah. I mean, the truth is like going to a journey, right? You're going through a journey to find meaning or find the actual answer.
To get from one place
that's
to
what
another.
It feels like.
Yeah. Journey of truth.
Yeah, that was like this feeling of I wouldn't call it chaotic. I felt like it was, or not messy. I felt like
I agree.
Like it was like there was like some dissonance, right? And it was like, but like it kept on coming in and out, but it wasn't completely out either.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, as a person that's been trying to have like conversations about the issues for a long fucking time, like we all have in our own fucking ways, it's like it feels like it was a raw conversation that allowed for people to go in and out and have the thing be messy, but it was all part of the same song, the same realization, just people coming at it from different areas and people like not understanding one another. I'm projecting that hard. And like people not understanding what the fuck they're saying, but I think I know what you're saying. And then, yes, I know what you're saying, but that other piece, nah, man, not that much. It was like that was like playing in my whole like.
Yeah. So how I had the
here. Yeah.
So how I put the saxophones, they're constantly going left to right as well. So we're close to what we're trying to come to in agreement, but it's never at the same time.
So you like mess with the panning of the actual mix.
Yeah, I moved the panning around in the stereo and all that stuff, but that's pretty much how it's it's felt trying to like just like when you're in the middle of a conversation that's kind of tough to have, where there's two perspectives regardless of what facts we bring in, because the facts they're neutral. We're the ones that come in with certain biases and all that stuff.
Like the feeling I got from it was like when you've been dealing with something for a long time, or you've been thinking about something for a long time, and you're supposed to speak out maybe 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 times before, but you never did. Then that 7th, you're just like, I'm gonna just say it, like let's talk about this, That's literally what it felt like. Like it felt like each sax had something to say that it was holding in for a long time.
Yep.
Just when the conversation got real.
Yeah.
Like it has to get messy.
Yeah.
This song was initially wasn't gonna be called Truth. It was gonna be called For Worse. Like for better or for worse. Just, worst part of it.
I got the feeling when I was hearing the song and going on with the concept of the these two sax kind of panning in and out.
Yeah.
At least for me, when I've had conversations with people, it's a whole different ball game, because at the same time you're filtering your thoughts while you're having a conversation with someone. So you're still you're dealing with that inner you're doing that inner conflict thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not until you have a conversation with someone that they point out something that you didn't see. So like you can rehearse all these things in your mind prior. You can make a scenario where you have this conversation and you have all these talking points down to a T, but when you actually go out and have it, you're struggling with the inner dissonance of what you already rehearsed in your mind and what they're saying. So it's like it is kind of conflict in different areas. It's hard to match those things without the two parties being completely open to something different, without having them input their rehearsed scenarios from their mind. If that makes sense.
Yeah. That's true. Because I've seen it play out in just me not being in the conversation, just being around the people, like having these conversations, and it's just they're close to an agreement, but it's just it's never there. Just it's a tough one to tackle.
Do you think it's because at the end, people still want to be partisan to the ideas that they present? And I guess flexibility really is an option.
Yeah. I mean, how I see it is just whoever, like, if they bring certain ideas that they've been living with, for a certain amount of time, so that becomes part of their identity. So whenever someone agrees or disagrees with a certain topic that they've been, living by for so long, it becomes like an attack on their, on their soul, I guess, or perceived attack on their soul. So they feel like they have to double down on it, because if I'm wrong about this thing and I've been wrong about it for years now, then so everything I've been doing up until then has been, wrong, and I'm a bad person because of it. But that's just how human beings are, I think.
What are you calling me out though for?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I feel like egos flare up. You know, we all have egos, and you know, when you start getting personal on certain things, your ego comes up as a defense. And you know, my personal perspective is like, we all have our own personal truths, right? And those and the egos will fight when we hear another truth that we're not aware of. But I feel like the day we all get the same truth, because we all have different truths we live by, but the day we all just be given the same truth, like let's say aliens just come out the sky, God's like, yo, I'm real, like what's up, like when the truth is just there's no more speculation. You can't speculate. If you say anything else, we know you're lying, because everybody knows the truth. Once we're at that point, I feel like that's when it's like we like those types of arguments wouldn't even need to be had anymore. But then nowadays it's pretty much, how it's always been, it's pretty much everybody has their own version of the truth, and it's hard to make those meet.
Yeah, because we don't live according to other people. At the end of the day, we're all living individually. And that's why I used the James Baldwin sample too, because regardless of the pronoun, he says white people, but regardless of that, you could take that out and plug in any other pronoun in, and it applies. You can't tell me a certain idealism exists if I have never seen it in my life. So that's partly, that's like that's why I made that the fourth song, because it's an individual battle that we have to deal with. Fog of War was more like macro scale. Everyone is in a state of unbalance, and it's partly because of how we handle truth as well.
So
yeah,
go ahead.
I was saying, so to me it sounds like the song is about, like, yeah, you said having conversation, but it seems more like having a conversation with yourself, because in order to get to the truth, you have to be able to organize your thoughts. You need to be able to organize things. You're not going to listen to someone who doesn't know how to organize. You can't put someone in charge of organizing people if you yourself aren't organized. And you have all these thoughts that are kind of like in and out, in and out, in and out. So like, how do you get to the truth when everyone has their own perception of what something is, or what a solution is, or what a conclusion is?
Yeah, and going back to the whole James Baldwin thing, I like what you said about, you could have left that word blank and it would apply to anybody. Anybody can relate, because this is what kind of made him stick out. He didn't speak as a black man, he spoke as a man. He spoke as a human being, not even a human being, a soul, right? And what I love about your music in general, right? So is that you don't usually sing or rap over your beats. You let the sax speak, right? You let the beat speak. And there's a void that's left there, an air that's left for the listener's soul. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if you just if niggas just spoke over your beats, then it would finalize what the interpretation is of the song. But when you leave it blank, your soul can fit that void. It's whatever you find out of it,
Yeah, that's the thing about art, huh? And I do gotta say though, if there's a dope ass lyricist that is like just dope, it'd be fucking dope. No. The music is dope. No, but I was gonna say this whole thing about I keep on coming back to like hermeticism and like the micro macro thing that you talked about. Like there's a duality, or at least a perceived duality everywhere we look, in ourselves and our psyches, in our family structures, in our communities, in the world at large. And it's always like some like figuring out of how to come closer together always. Leaves room for different perspectives. Yeah, that was dope, Terry. Yeah, and then like this whole like thing of like of what Adriel in the chat is saying about like truth, like what is belief and what is truth. And I wonder, like, with this like supposed dichotomy or polarity situation happening, I wonder if like what music does in the lack of meaning, or not the lack of meaning, what you're saying, Terry, not
defining it.
yeah, like not defining it and like not marrying a specific perspective and just being observant and just taking it in like life, like in music. I wonder if somewhere in there is truth rather than what we were saying about like everybody's coming with their different perspectives. There's something to just being an observer or listening that is closer to truth than we could will into existence. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I agree. There's an intrinsic truth just to it being.
Interestingly enough, playing music, both in the physical sense and mentally, connects both sides of the brains. It helps the part of the brain that connects both hemispheres. It helps create more diverse routes to send information. Therefore, it helps with problem solving and logic and your creative side. So those things actually do work hand in hand and improve brain function too.
Sorry, I'm burning down the house here. I just realized that this is Wesley. That's Wesley. What's going on?
Yeah, how's it going?
The last time I saw you, you were like a baby. It was like a long ass time ago.
It's been a while. I haven't seen it in a while.
Sure, good to see you, man.
But yo, that's dope. I actually never knew that about music and the both hemispheres of the brain and all that. You know, it actually reminds me a lot of shrooms, because shrooms basically do the same thing. They'll connect every part of your mind together, you know. Yo, now I think about it, I gotta listen to your music on shrooms, bro. Oh my god, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing.
No, it was funny when I started putting out music. They a lot of people I know that would listen to it. They smoke weed and stuff, so they're always they're vibing regardless. And they say when they play my music, it gets them tripped out because it's just how like they close their eyes and they're just in the zone, I guess.
Yeah.
And they would think I was be smoking too. I'm like, dude, are you a pothead or something? Because some of these just are too loopy. But it's true. I was practicing today, and I kind of felt like in the zone. Just like I was practicing the whole like EP and shit at the studio, and when I'm playing with it, it's just like I don't know. I'm just in it. I have no I don't know, set goal, I guess, when I'm trying to play along with it. I'm just like, oh, this is nice to hear. and then I just noticed things that I'd never noticed before and all that stuff.
Can I ask a question? Do you have synesthesia by any chance? You know, like, do you like match your music with like colors or like, you know, like it's when somebody feels like two senses at the same time?
I didn't before. No, before I did. I used to. I know with at least one of Kanye's West's songs, I would do some of them are associated with the color. Like power would be red for me. Obviously, red means power. And then there was another one called I made green. I think it was a song with Jeezy in it. I forgot what the name of it was.
Yeah,
I think it's dope.
Because when I listen to your music, I almost feel colors. If that makes sense. Like it's like colorful music.
When you say senses, is it just limited to colors, or can it be like memory?
Oh yeah. It's all types of senses.
Because for me, when I listen to something that reminds me, it's usually nostalgia-wise for me. So I'll associate the song to a certain time or a certain place in my childhood, most likely. So I can relate with that.
Yeah. Wesley, right?
Yes.
Do you play music?
Yeah, I do.
What do you play?
So I mainly play guitar, but I can pretty much throw down with any instrument.
That's dope. That's dope.
And I use Oriel's space to practice with my band.
Hey.
He's doing the field testing for me right now.
I wasn't told about this, but sure, I'm down.
Yeah. I'm trying to narrow down where it echoes and all that shit. So whenever I come in on my break from work, I just stop by on them to see how things sound and stuff, and where I need to start putting like panels and all that stuff.
Yeah. Josh, you play too?
Yeah, not that professionally. Like I mess around with a cajon and a native flute, but that's just for like every once in a while.
I can tell you probably ripped that flute, bro. I can already see it.
I love wind. Yo, I see myself sitting on a mountaintop, like letting the fucking trees grow around me and the birds following my fucking head. And just like, it's I love winds. I love like natural winds or woodwinds or whatever the hell they're called.
Woodwinds, yeah.
Yeah, it's glorious. I love it.
That's a vibe.
Beautiful. The first instruments ever created were the woodwinds and the drum.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wow.
So every culture you will find woodwinds, you'll find drums. Every culture. Yeah.
Drums definitely set the mood for anything. That's what gets you moving. That's like the first thing that like, okay, I can kind of tell the vibe of this song by the drums.
Yeah. The cool thing about drums, right, is that drums predated language. So we would speak with drums. I literally just, you know what I'm saying? I'd tap and y'all would understand that, you know?
That's like a well-known motion, because I think the first spear is made out of rock, where it was made by banging them together and sharpening the rocks.
Yeah.
So
I feel like that's why drums can speak to you, you know, so quickly.
Yeah, I was watching this documentary. It's on YouTube. It's on I forgot what it's called. I was like looking into my history and stuff of just like Dominican music and the instruments and all that stuff, and why we dance the way we do and all the stuff. One of the things that one of the dudes, I don't know, whatever the hell the musician study term is that he is, musicology or some shit. I don't even know.
I think so. I think that's it.
Yeah. But the guy was just like, oh, the first instrument ever is the drum, and it's and we all have a drum inside of our bodies. It's the heart, and he's just like, think about that. The baby in the womb listening, hearing the heartbeat. There's a rhythm to life. It's cool. The breathing. It's the breathing and the heartbeat. The wind, like you're saying, Terry. The wind
in the drums. Yo,
that's deep. That's fucking deep.
That's fucking deep, bro.
Even ear function use.
Yeah, you hear a drum.
Need those things to carry. So
yeah. No, that's dope.
Literally, music is life.
Yeah, and it explains why, you know, the sax speaks so much too as well. So yeah, to answer that question, hell yeah. Definitely. I rapped one way before shrooms. I rap completely different after shrooms. I'll tell you that. So my shroom journey coincided with my ayahuasca journey, right? I participated. Shout out to the person from Brazil earlier. I started with a Umbanda ceremony, which is a traditional Brazilian ceremony that initiated me basically through ayahuasca and shrooms. And from that moment, it really expanded my worldview. You know, I spent a lot of my life being agnostic. I went through a phase of being an atheist, but it wasn't until I took ayahuasca and I saw my grandparents in the ancestral realm that I was like, yo, this multiverse is real. Like there's so many aspects to this existence that's beyond just the physical. And then I started rapping about it. I started producing about it. You know, I started really just connecting it all together. Just like Wesley was talking about. I felt all those synapses connect. I was just like, boom, 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 boom. You know?
Especially in that state, I feel like you're more your senses are more delicate, and you can actually just soak in everything happening at once.
Yeah, and they say when babies are born, they're naturally high. Like they see all the stuff you see on shrooms and ayahuasca or LSD. They just see it because they don't have the filter yet of reality and society telling them, no, this isn't real. Pay attention to this. No, this is that. Like none of that hit them yet. So they'll talk to a stuffed animal for an hour. Like that stuffed animal is just as alive as everybody else in the room. I see my son do it all the time.
Yeah, they say that I've done ayahuasca and peyote and shrooms and
Let's go.
other things, and I used to listen to Terrence McKenna for fucking days, weeks, months. If you know, he's like the god of like mushrooms back in the day in the 70s when all that stuff was like released or whatever. Well, he legit researched it and had like conversations, like really, really deep ass conversations with mathematics, all this other shit. But he, one of the things that I remember, he said that that what medicinal plants do, or entheogens, is that they dissolve culture, they dissolve conditioning, so that we're directly perceiving reality for what it is.
What it is, yeah.
And it's just like he's like the world is made up of language. And like I listened to this other guy, Jiddu Krishnamurti, who was like fascinating story as well. Like they bred him to be like the next Jesus and all this shit, like really interesting. But he was onto some shit, and he was just like, yo, like that truth is a pathless land, and that if we're not observing ourselves and observing ourselves in time right now, and this is like a little bit different than the power of now and all that, then we're not being intelligent. We're only practicing learned behavior, or regurgitating learned behavior. And it's just like, so when you reach this like ecstatic state brought on by entheogenic substances or music or chanting or meditation or dancing, like many of our cultures have done, right? Like the Sufi spin, a bunch of like indigenous, like African communities that use jumping and dancing. There's like chanting in Southeast Asia, and they all like fucking hold each other and they say the same fucking thing all day, and they're all just like tripping balls. But you're able to like see, not like some like it's like an alien landscape or whatever, but like, and that's all fun and well and good, but like you get meaningful things that are applicable to our regular lives or whatever. And that's like the craziest thing about it. It's like you're reaching this like enhanced entranced state, having all these fun hallucinations and going through the emotions, crying and screaming and fearful and euphoric and all the things. But it's just like you come back experiencing like your entire life and like the future and every possibility.
Yeah.
And like your life comes back like, holy shit, what a fucking wonderful world. Why the fuck are we doing this right now? This is bullshit.
It's beautiful. It's hard after you have those type of experiences to just, put on the suit and go back to work and do your 9-to-5 job or whatever, because you experience the world for what it truly is. And I like that connection you made, Josh, with like music, because music definitely can make you reach those trances with no entheogens involved. Like you don't have to take nothing. Music will just take you there. There's a whole realm of dimension, where music is just all music. Like I've made it there before. It's called the music, the musical spheres, or the music of the spheres, right? And what it's like, the best way to describe it is like Tom and Jerry. Like you pick up something and it's like whoop. You know what I'm saying? It falls. It's like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you hear that, like it's like synesthesia. Like you hear everything, bro, with music. And like when I made that entrance into that dimension, like just once, I almost feel like that power carried with me too, where it's like, now I can see actions and can hear the theme songs and the motions and the actions and the sequences that would happen to it, like I see a whole video when I hear your song. So when I hear Truth, like I literally see two people conversing and the camera spinning in circles around them, like, and as they're speaking, you know what I'm saying? Like all their like ideas or points inside their arguments, their rebuttals. You can visually see them in like colors battling each other. Like I close my eyes, I see it,
I see it now. So you gave me an idea for a video. Yeah, I've never pieced together videos. Like I think with this project, I think I have an idea now. All the other songs have just been fuck winter, like just dumb shit.
I feel like you've already been asked this, Soul, but what's your writing process like? Do you have
mainly just living? Mainly just living.
There's no
like
one.
All the songs I've released. There's not one. Yeah, there's no one tactic, I guess, that I do. It just hits me some nights and others don't.
It's just interesting to see how other people do it.
Yeah. With this project, it was kind of. It took some time. Like I had the instrumentals and all that stuff done, but I never pieced together why I made it until stuff started happening, and then I figured out what were the connections between the reality I was living and the songs that I've been making. So before that, none of the songs had samples. Before that, the speeches and all that stuff, it was without the speeches. So I felt those words before I found them, so to speak.
It's really fun watching other people explain their writing process. At least for me, anyway.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that was different from your writing process from previous projects? That's a question. Yeah.
I was thinking, I'm like, the other ones, they were just they were rushed, I think. I was just like in a zone. Like I put out one album, the first album, and then right away I started making the second one. I didn't even think about like doing anything else but making the music and just oh, this sounds cool. Let me put some drums. I'm just in the zone at that point. I'm just started making music and then releasing stuff. I think it has like each project has been like 6 months in between, except for Apartheid Plus.
Were all your songs written in the same spot?
Yeah. They're not like when I hear the word written, I'm thinking like, yo, this is like I arrange these things like perfect. Like when it comes to the sax, I do one takes. I don't rehearse that much. I do it like I set up the whole song and then I just go at it for one thing. And if I like it, then that's what it is. I don't chop it up that much.
That's dope.
Feels like I'd be there for a fucking I write poetry. I say Dike because I'm never fucking satisfied with it. It has to be perfect. I got problems, man. So you were saying that last time I was on.
Yeah.
Do you have that like just like go with the flow, like you just like tapped in?
Mm-hmm.
And
but I think it's harder because
busy.
Yeah, when you're writing, I think it takes more time when you're actually writing words and lyrics to it. I write poetry like sometimes like too, but I just never I'm like where you're at. Like I never like it enough to actually record myself speaking it out and everything like that. Like I'm constantly going back and forth on it. But with the sax, I could just I don't have to worry about the words, but the feeling is there.
Just keep on reminding me that I just gotta feel it, man. Appreciate you.
I think by part that's natural, just because in my experience, you kind of write as you go. So you have your recording material right in front of you. You have your DAW open. You have an idea. You record it, and then you're still writing as you go, because it's like I can do this here, but this here. It's like a fun little jigsaw puzzle that you just like make it fit together, and then you like tie it in with the idea in your head, whether you use words or not. But since I use words, I never really plan out the words beforehand. I start with like a chord or a progression, and then think, well, what kind of mood is this? And then just start humming, just start saying words, and then just it'll form itself, kind of like writing as you go.
I guess I'm not consciously doing it then.
Well, everyone has their way of doing things.
You ever find yourself emotional while you're creating soul?
Some of them. I know. I think you heard Queen before. I don't know if you heard that. That
Queen's
one was
nasty.
Yeah, that one is just a lot. That's all I could say.
Yeah, and it's a lengthy song too.
It's
Queen
it's
hits.
it's one of the longest ones I have.
Yeah,
And it's like the first. It was part of the first. Like I never did singles. Like I only put out a couple singles before, but like other than that, it's just every song was one whole thing within itself. And that one is just the chords. I don't even know how to play piano that much. I just like, hey, let me pick these three notes, and if they sound good together, then that's all I could do. I can't do more than that. But that one is like slightly. It's like slightly. I don't know. It's like you're happy, but you're sad. You know, like you're just in between at certain points. The drums are kind of upbeat, but the chords are kind of like depressing.
yeah.
So it's a weird song, and that one's partly because I was broke at the time, like financially. Yes, like I have a house, and like I'm living like with my mom and all that stuff, but like I couldn't. Like I left my job at Lowe's and I was working at UPS at 3 a.m. like for a good month or two, and it's just like everything's stacking against you, and then certain promises weren't kept and all that stuff. Just everyday shit. Like you get disappointed by people, not that they actively do it, but like it just happens.
Yeah.
So the Queen was just part of it, and then certain people leaving when you're not ready to and all that stuff. I just associate certain songs to people.
I think certain situations does and can form the music you make.
Yeah.
That's why when you move to a new project, you're not really stuck too much in past projects because you're in a different space, or you could be, or even if you are in the same space, it's a different feel because you've had time to reflect or come up with some sort of solution or move just a step further at least.
There's always growth. Yeah. Yeah, I know. One of the songs off my album, Ways of the World, called Power. It's like one of the most aggressive songs I've ever made. And it was literally like, it was a day I was at a show and I was trying to give a tribute to my late brother who passed away recently. And they literally tried to cut me off on stage. Like they did cut me off on stage. I was pissed, right? And instead of, just like fighting the dude there, which I really wanted to fight the dude there, like no lie. I was like, you know what? Actually, shout out to Jerome B. I don't know if anybody knows Jerome B. He's that dude. He's the one who came up to me. He's like, you know what, Terry? You should write a song because of this energy or this emotion. And then I just went home and I murdered that song, And I feel like music really embodies that solution to, conflicts that we'll have sometimes, where it's like, this thing might happen in my life, or I might experience this thing, but some of those things, either I can't or I don't want to do something about it. But what I can do is make a beautiful song in place of that, you know, and it just takes a huge weight off your shoulder.
That's true. No. I think Joshua lagged out.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, it's a good time to end it, actually. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
818. This was an amazing cast, bro.
Yeah. I'm just happy I'm doing this because I'm usually silent. I just be dropping music. I don't say shit after. So I'm like, yo, let me just make a podcast about it. That way to make up for all the other times I don't say anything. But thank you guys, for coming on. Thank you, Wesley.
Thanks for inviting me. It was very interesting.
Yeah. Thank you, Terry, for coming back, being the returning guest.
Let's go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shane. It was great meeting Josh. It was great meeting you, Wesley. You guys are some definitely high intellectual minds. It was great to just like talk about all this stuff and go into it, especially with Lone Soul's great music. This episode was great.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate the conversation.
Appreciate you
too. The next, let me just let you know, the next episode will be not the last one of the podcast, but the last one that's going to be about the EP. This one will be the song about a song called Reconciliation. It's not. It's geared towards more so realizing your position, not like a reconciliation with what's it called? With despair, I think. Like you want something and you see things aren't going your ways, but you're still reconciling with the doubt that it will happen eventually, just not now. So you're like, you're agreeing to the position you're in right now. That's also a layered a topic. It could be put in certain different perspectives and all that stuff. But for me, this one is in terms of how things are in the government and all that stuff. We're getting certain things, but other stuff are being taken away in turn. So you're just reconciling yourself to the belief that something good will happen in spite of the bad things that are actually happening. So
that's real.
That's gonna be a very fun talk.
Yeah. This one's gonna be sampling James Baldwin also. I think I like him just because of the songs. I don't know. He's the most sampled one out of all of them.
I feel that.
So thank you guys for coming on. Episode 5 next Sunday. Yeah, thank you. Maybe a surprise release date for at least one of the songs. I'm not sure. I have to figure out how the Distro Kid thing is playing nice for me. Thank you. I need to edit the trailer for that last song because I haven't done it yet.
You have a week.
So yeah, I got a good week. Thank you. See you next eventually.
Have a good night.
Thank you once again. Peace, bliss, manifest.